Scott, Club of the Year. Wow, what an achievement for Olympic FC.
Yeah, it's been a really good year for the football club. I think we had 7 teams make top 4. Of those 7 teams, I think 5 made finals, grand finals, and of those 5 we had 4 grand final winners. So really successful for our teams on the pitch, and then to be recognised by Football Queensland at the end of the season, for Advanced Club of the Year was it was great. It was a really successful year.
Yeah, and how much does that mean to get obviously see all your hard work from yourself, the other coaches, the volunteers, rewarded by this award?
Yeah, I think it's a great recognition for all the hard work that's been done. And although I'm the one that goes up on stage to get the award, there's a lot of people behind the scenes that are responsible for the improvements that we've made this season. That's not just the coaches and the staff, it's the players, it's the parents as well. People often forget about the parents and the amount of work that's involved for them as well, getting them to and from training 3 times a week and travelling to games. So it's a club-wide award, and it's recognition for everyone at the club for all the hard work that's been done.
Yeah, and on about improvements, talk to us about what's made Olympic FC so special in 2024.
Well, I think there's been lots of sort of minor improvements, really. The technical director before me, Andy Catton, sort of laid the foundations, and it allowed for me to have a smooth transition into taking it forward even more. I've been in the role now. I've seen a full calendar year, so I know how everything works. But there's been a lot of sort of minor improvements, not just on the pitch and improvements from our teams, but in and around the football club as well. We've acquired O'Grady Park, which is another training facility, which has been a huge improvement because pitch space is at a premium. We've got so many teams, the club's growing, the numbers are growing, so we've got to find a place for them. So that's been a big help for us. It's been a big improvement. I think everything really. We've got new people in the canteen, so things like the food's better. The pitch quality's better. But there's still a lot more to do, I think. That we want to take this club a lot further forward. We want people to talk about Olympic in the same way they talk about some of the other clubs, in and around Brisbane, the sort of so-called bigger clubs. So I still think there's a lot more work to be done. The big thing for me next season will be improving the matchday experience for not just our own parents and players, but for opposition players and parents as well. We want them to come to Goodwin Park and, we want it to feel like a proper football club, like a real football club, and to be, as professional as we can be within the constraints that we have. So that's a big thing for me next season, is making that matchday experience, a real joy. We want our kids to come in and love coming here to play football and to train, and we want the same, for the parents and for opposition fans as well.
Yeah, of course. And it's not obviously just the first team, it's obviously our juniors and our One Academy. Can you talk to us a little bit more about what we do offer here at Olympic FC?
Yeah, so we've got, like I say, our numbers are constantly growing. We're expecting more players to join next season. We have our in-house Mini Roos program. We have our Wallabies program, which we're going to slightly tweak a little bit next season, hopefully with some big improvements there. And we've got our Pathways teams, our Kangaroos and our MJL teams, which are, they're sort of like the foundations for our academy teams. And we've had some real success there over the last sort of probably 12 to 14 months, where, we've managed to promote some of our Pathway players into our academy teams. And not only have they been promoted, but they've been promoted and done really, really well. Some players have been standout for our academy team. So that's great. It shows that we're not only do we have strength and depth in our academy in our Pathway teams, but we're also willing to take those players and promote them from within the club. It's a big thing here for me that we promote loyalty. We want to promote from within the club. So if our Pathway teams are doing well, if they're being coached well, if we recruit well, then that means that we don't have to look externally for players in the future. So, yeah, I think the club's in a reasonably good space at the moment. We had obviously the NPL men's team, the Australia Cup, a great run for them, and Grossi's doing a great job with them. So I think there's a bit of a feel-good factor around the club at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously we want that to continue into next year and the years going forward. Can you give us a bit of an insight on what the next sort of 12 months looks like for the club?
Yeah, so there's a lot going on. We're constantly looking at improving where we are and what we're doing. I think next season there'll be a couple of little tweaks with our community programs, offering them a better service, I think. As I said before, we want to improve the Goodwin Park. We want to improve that experience here. Our fields need to be better. You know, our pitch quality is really important. The facilities themselves need to improve, and there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes to do that. And then, of course, we've got the challenge of being an FQA1 next season. So that brings about a big challenge in terms of our performances on the pitches, preparing our teams for that. This season we were quite successful on the pitches, and very often we're expected to win games. That's going to be different next season. So there's going to be some new challenges for our players there. So they're not going to be winning games 12-0, 13-0 like they did this season. So I think that'll be probably the biggest challenge for us. Making sure our academy teams are prepared for FQA1 and the challenges that brings.
Amazing. Okay, well, thank you very much, Scott.